I'm going to add a few more. Sorry, I just had a message there. I just want to say how pleased and proud that I am to be part of the Period Promise Poetry Powerhouse. And that must have taken a lot, I think, just to put together. And I'm truly honored to be part of this group of phenomenal women in our community, women leaders. We are all women supporting women. And the poem that I will be reading is the first poem in Sabrina's book, She Was. And I chose it because I identified with many of the concepts and words that were contained in the poem, and it touched me. So here goes. She was buffalo medicine, the people's kokum. She was sweetgrass and sage. Our red dress hung with care, lest we forget. She was power they can't recognize. She was a gatherer of the scooped, the schooled, the two spirits. She was a shaman's promise. Sovereign. She was the resounding drumbeat, the rattle's ribbon surrounding the red women as they sound. She was hope, rising in feathered smoke billows to creator for us all.
Thank you, Lan. Thank you. Our next reader is Jan Underwood. Jan has been involved in community engagement and development projects in Red Deer and Central Alberta for at least 25 years. She ran her own drama school and talent agency and has been involved in the arts for most of her life as an actor, dancer, choreographer, producer, director, and instructor. She is passionate about creating more welcoming and inclusive committees and has been employed by Central Alberta Refugee Effort in the public awareness and community education role for 19 years. A recipient of the Mayor's Recognition Award, a Woman of Excellence, Champion Diversity Award, a Rotarian, member of the Red Deer WIC, a Red Feather Woman, and board member for the Education for Somalia Girls and Boys and the Red Deer Cultural Heritage Society. She believes that we can all make a difference in the world around us globally and locally. She is excited to be part of this wonderful project.
Thank you, Sherry, and thank you, Sabrina, for writing this wonderful poetry. I've pretty much read all of them now, and I'm so impressed with the poetry. It's absolutely beautiful. So I chose this poem because it resonates with me too. I saw myself in the poem, and so I'm not going to say anymore. I'm just going to go straight into it. She was blazing sun in springtime after long, dry, dead winter. She was the scent of lilacs and emotional honesty, an unmet desire imprinted for eternity. She was a blush wine, a blush makeup blend, a blush thought, prefacing blush cheeks. She was the wish that came true as she blew the candle, the brother, the budget. She was a cushion of consciousness split wide open to reach a dimension where her heart returned with ointment to assist all she encountered. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next reader is Patricia Arango. Patricia was born, raised, and educated in Colombia and is a psychologist with a master's degree in social and community psychology. She has always worked with women, children, and community development, as well as with non-governmental agencies in Colombia and Canada. She was a professor at 2 Colombian universities, a human rights advisor, director of an NGO, National Director of Indigenous Affairs before emigrating to Canada, where after learning the language, she worked in different organizations such as hospitals, women's shelter, a women's center, and the Central Alberta Sexual Assault Support Center. Her entire life has been characterized by permanent volunteering, social service, helping immigrants and people in need. She is also a busy member of the community and is the director of different boards, a Rotarian, the 2016 Seroptimus Ruby winner, and the 2020 Women of Excellence Lifetime Achievement winner.
Wow, I'm so excited. I've been so excited, and then I woke up this morning thinking, what if I cannot sign? And whole day, Sabrina, Melody, oh my God, there was the whole horrendous day thinking that I couldn't make it to this meeting. But I'm here. I'm very happy and honored to be with all of you. This poem is very short, but it's so powerful because it's talking about us as a change. We know what we can do. We know the power that we have. We know how far we can go. So this is why I say, okay, this is mine. And I said that, okay, this is my poem. It's just because we are the change, because we create life and we always are part of the change. So that's the way to say. She was one who knew every inspired molecule of herself. Before the comfort of her brokenness sat down, they curiously posed questions. She was the giving she wished to pour back. She was the voice. She was the feminine instrument. She was the change. A Mississippi miracle, fully knowing what she was here to be, do, speak. Thank you.
Yay, yay. Thank you, Patricia. Our next poetry reader is Valdine Callan. Valdine is all about making life delicious for all that she meets and subscribes to support SPICE, social, physical, intellectual, creative, and emotional needs in her community. She has participated in the Community Impact Council for the United Way, the FCSS Board, Foundation for Red Deer Public Schools, Red Deer Child Care Society, Red Deer Museum Art Gallery, Bullskit, Red Deer Public Library, PCN Fun Run, Children's Wish Breakfast, and Dress for Success. Valdine was part of the 2019 Canada Winter Games Bid Committee, and once Red Deer was awarded the Games, was involved as the volunteer team lead for community relations and Canada Village.
I can't hear you, Sherry. Hi.
Sorry. Okay.
All good.
Okay, it looked like I got muted. Sorry. So what did you hear me up to the Canada Winter Games? Did you hear me up to that part?
Yeah.
Okay. She was part of the 2020 Vagina Monologues and hosts drives for supplies and funds amongst her friends by creating fun-filled acts of kindness challenges. And after everything I just read, you know this is why she was chosen the 2014 Women of Excellence for Community Building. Valdine.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be a part of this. I'm more excited. I've worked with most of you, but some of you I don't know. And I'm so excited to meet more women that are passionate about causes in our community. And the reason I wanted to be a part of this is because I know we can make a change, and I see us making that change. And I am so excited to be sitting here next to my son.
Hi.
And he just corrected Sherry, or did an he added something, Sherry.
Okay.
He's working in charity as well. And he said in Ireland, they also have eradicated
Yeah, they have it through a grocery store chain where they've decided to have it through a lot where they're providing it through. So it's not directly through government, but they're doing it through their grocery stores there. So
Yay!
some sisters with the accent, they're also trying to provide it there.
Wow.
Why I do what I do is because I love my community and I love my son, and I wanted him to be here and be a part of it. And I loved that he knew more about it than I did. So I didn't pick my poem. Sherry did, but I don't think she could have picked anything better. So I'm going to read it now. She was light refracted through colored glass, a glimmer of cheer bouncing off one and all, diffuser of laughter and tension. She was a survivor and listener, patiently embracing, waiting for her mind to unquiet. She was a baby's laugh and a full moon howl to the divine, oil to the shine, the others when scuffed. A boy mom, a back bend. She was first thing in the morning, hair messed up, video phone chats, an unjudged serving coffee, supportive as your favorite chair under a gazebo, waiting for her mind to unquiet. Thank you.
Yay. Lovely. Our next reader is Melody Klink. Melody is a certified grief recovery specialist and owner and creator of Inspiring Virtues in Red Deer. Inspiring Virtues provide group facilitation, programs, and services for youth, individuals, and families throughout Central Alberta. Melody is also a proud volunteer member of Seroptimus International of Central Alberta and the Red Deer Youth Justice Committee. She strongly believes that community involvement and collaboration is one of the great keys to success and takes opportunity in strengthening her relationships in the community, both personally and professionally.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Just like everyone else, I would like to say thank you to everybody involved, and I'm very honored to be a part of this. It's close to my heart. I have two daughters, they're 3 and 5. And I don't want them growing up to feel any shame in menstruating, and I want the world to change in those regards. So I'm happy to be here. She was amniotic fluid surrounding the children, keeping them safe. She was the warmth of the womb, carrying brilliance and beauty. She was hummingbird wings, flapping at a speed unseen with the naked eye. She was the book that changed your life, with the best spot on the shelf. She was the element from the table, mixing with others to create things precious and lasting. Atomic in habit and thought.
Thank you. Our next reader is Pat Bidart. Pat is an educator who has held positions as instructor and administrator at Olds College, Bow Valley College, and Selkirk College. Presently, Pat is working for Colleges and Institutes Canada on the skills to access the green economy in the Caribbean. Pat was back for 6 months due to COVID, and with the committee started the Innisfail Welcoming and Inclusive Community Committee number 4. This committee is trying to educate citizens, to provide training and open conversations, to create a safe place for people to share their stories, with always the goal of making Innisfail a welcoming community. Pat is working in St. Lucia, but through Zoom is still very much involved with IWICC and here with us tonight.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be part of this committee, and the work I'm doing in the Caribbean is working with vulnerable youth and women and education. So very similar to some of the goals that your committee has. Just want to say hi to Lynn. It's been a long time since we worked together, and Jan and I still do some work together. So yes, I'm really honored to be part of this group. She was unapologetically unkept, hair that twisted off the way she did in her colorful youth. The storybook without an ending, climaxing repeatedly. Maybe her fairy tale ended with a dragon ride alone. She was a rocket launching the entire cosmos into her highly developed gray matter. She was justice in the courtroom and the cat dish. A coy pound of serenity. God patiently waited beside with 2 cups of tea. She was a deeply loved relative, without all the murkiness of blood. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next reader is Peggy Church. Peggy offers everyone who crosses her path a diverse, honest, and well-rounded perspective. Peggy is, okay, I have to say, a dean, adenoma, no, I don't know how to say this. Peggy, can you help me with that word?
Adenomyosis.
Okay, warrior and sexual assault survivor, and from time to time, still just that insecure, bullied little girl. She is a massage therapist, Pilates instructor, hypopressives instructor, myofascial cupping therapist, slings in motion instructor, professional dancer and instructor, choreographer, movement specialist, actress, coach, model, and even a certified clown. Peggy opened a new studio in Red Deer in January 2021. Yes, you heard that, during COVID. She was creating an opportunity when she couldn't find one and has made a habit of making things work. Movement Tutor Limited is her new one-woman show / studio where she gives people the tools of self-care and rehabilitation.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. I did not pick my poem this evening. It was picked for me, and it's slightly poetic in that I am a certified clown. And I'd like to dedicate this to my mom, who was also my warrior and got me through my periods. Because my periods from the age of 11 have been atrocious. I have tumors in my uterus. Long story short, it hasn't been fun. And so to imagine not to be able to have the supplies necessary, plus have to live with pain my whole life, I can't even imagine what some women have to go through. So for this, thank you, Mommy, and thank you all for doing this to give back to our community. She was the clown herder, the juggler whisperer. She was a ladybug on a glass slipper, rose-colored glasses and nutty clubs, and ensembled force for good. She was a high, holy woman leading our primary colored, red-nosed revolution. She was a genius of laughter. The full house off the river you didn't see coming. She was the joy dealer, sending in the clowns.
Thank you. And I hope everybody noticed the little tampons and pads behind her there. Amazing, amazing. All righty, our next reader is Roxy Cotton. I've been looking forward to this one. Roxy from Drumheller is one part of the Badlands Pride Association. She is a non-binary, two-spirited person working in the community to support the 2SLGBTQIA+ community through direct outreach and activism. She works to promote unity, inclusion, and awareness of sexual and gender diversity and aims to create a sense of community and safe places. Roxy uses she, her pronouns specifically while in her drag persona and uses all pronouns when out of drag. She spends her time fighting for rights for people in addiction. 2 years in recovery herself, she knows the depths of hell addiction can bring you to and wants to end the stigma. In her off time, she enjoys spending her time with her husband, 2 teenagers, and 4 dogs down in their coulee on the farm where there's no cell service and tons of secrecy.
Is he come?
Yes, hi, I'm Roxy. My poem wasn't picked out for me, or was picked out for me as well by Auntie Sab. I had a really hard time picking one for myself because each of them connects with me in some way. So thank you, Sabrina, for picking this one for me. And here we go. She was the new song you immediately like and sing all day. She was the giggle from passing the joint with the happy memory, simultaneously the gentle twirl of the spinning baton. She was the poppies bursting open, the meditative calm of the paintbrush, the satisfying final stroke to complete the masterpiece just in time for pie.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Our next reader is Diane McCauley. Diane is a proud advocate for the LGBTQ+2 and a social warrior for many issues. She has been a trustee for the Red Deer Public Schools for 17 years and loves helping students have the best education. Diane was honored in 2020 to receive the Women of Excellence Award for Community Building. Another highlight of 2020 was being part of the Vagina Monologues cast.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Yay. Hello, everybody. I first want to talk a little bit about the bang on my head. Whenever I can wear a tiara, I wear a tiara. And I encourage anybody to wear a tiara as well. I think if we have it, we should wear it. I was so grateful at one of the high schools when I was able to do the grad speech and said the same thing. And there were 10 individuals of all genders that wore their tiaras to this grad supper, and it just warmed my heart. I am somebody that wear my emotions and my love and my stress and my passion on my sleeve. And today I wear my colors on my sleeve. Sabrina asked if I would do this next poem gender neutral. So I was very honored with that request. And I would like to ask a favor of all of you. When you hear the bell, I want you to take a breath and close your eyes as I read the poem. When I'm done, I will ring the bell again. I want you to think of all the ways and all the people that this poem resonates with you. With me, it was about the part that the world sees, and the part is actually in your heart. So, you were a kickball aimed at your face. Jackson 5 album signed by the members. They were a laundry basket, a moon rocket headed nowhere stylishly. They were a lesson no one wanted to teach or learn. A house key you didn't know got lent out. They were the clinking, only cubed ice. Trained elixir, able to quell anger. They were a witness collecting data, poisoning the table where no one ever refused their invitation. All the while, holding the solution to the problem of themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you so much. Our next reader is Kathleen Ennis. Kathleen, under the umbrella of Peace Grove, offers energy balancing and peace infusion sessions, women's new moon meditation circles, workshops and art experiences, belly dance classes, and founded and hosted an annual women's empowerment retreat called Nimitona. Hopefully I said that right. Kathleen has participated in Shimmy Mob, an annual flash mob-like event raising funds and awareness for domestic violence prevention organizations. During her 8 years as Delburn team leader, her team raised over $15,000 in support of Delburn's safe families. She has also enjoyed a lengthy career as a graphic artist and continues to provide freelance design services.
Thanks very much. It's such an honor and a delight to be here. I'm speaking to you from the lands of the unceded traditional lands of the Comox First Nations. I moved from Alberta in the fall, so I'm here in Comox, which is the Comox traditional lands. So it's a great honor and privilege to be here with you and in this amazing company for this so worthwhile event. She was a sculpture in a hedge, a sidewalk chalk dragon flying up out of the pavement. She was chocolate strands in a sea of blonde, not unnoticed, just missing who noticed her while she worshiped the fairest of them all. She was golf balls launching into the lake, due credit, the pain and the pills, a mere byproduct of hallway invisibility and mother wounds. She was an overcomer, still failing to notice herself, flying in a different world over those who moved from hallways to sidewalks without a care of the dragon beneath or above or within. How does one not notice their innate ability to fly and breathe fire?
Thank you. Thank you. Our next reader is Taylor Solberg. Taylor is a Métis woman born and raised in the Red Deer area. She has her Bachelor of Fine Arts in Visual Arts and is currently the Visitor Services Associate at the Red Deer Museum and Art Gallery. In the creative sphere, she is especially passionate about illustration, writing, and her newfound love of beading. Taylor also considers herself an angry internet feminist and is especially invested in ending the stigma around mental health and fighting for equality for all genders, sexualities, races, and other marginalized identities.
Thank you, and thank you all for having me. I'm extremely honored to be in this group of amazingly talented community members. I chose this poem specifically because it reminded me of my mom. My mom has always been a fantastic support for myself and my younger brother, but she's also been like a second mom to quite a few of the friends that we've brought in and the romantic partners that we've also brought in. So she's not only my mom, she's not only my brother's mom, but she's so many people's mom. She was a rare painting on a prosaic wheat-colored wall, boundaried, 5 foot barely anything, scary enough to keep us all behaving. She was still, so obviously unrelenting in her caring, the kind of mom I always wanted and had by proxy. She was, have you eaten? Don't ever stop taking your meds, a cup of tea over a parable about drug use. She was the unlikely call from inside psych over sobbing and an extended sentence. Age-appropriate clothing and regularly completed NY Times crosswords and exquisitely wrapped presents. She was so proper and refined, I called her auntie only in my head. Wasps and terms of cultural endearment live on 2 ends of town. After all, her love lived everywhere, no matter what you called her. Thank you.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Our next reader is Jillian Vukovic. Jillian is a certified financial planner who has a practice with IG Wealth Management. Jillian dedicates her time to creating financial confidence within her clients and community, believing that education is power. Jillian volunteers with many organizations throughout Red Deer, including the Ronald McDonald House, Alzheimer's Society, Canadian Blood Services, and the Mustard Seed, and has created her own event in support of the Mustard Seed's hot meal and school lunch program. Jillian loves spending time with friends and family and her fur child, Honey. And before you start, Jillian, you also are going to have somebody else that you're going to be spending some time with.
Thank you, Sherry. After all of the Women of Excellence stuff, I forgot to say I'm also on the board for the Women of Excellence, so that was probably something important. So yes, I'm honored to be seated amongst this unbelievable group this evening. And as Sherry alluded to, I am currently 5 months pregnant with our first child, a baby girl. And so I couldn't be more proud to introduce her to this community and this cause in such a really great way. So thank you for choosing me. My poem also chose me. She was X marks the spot, a divided family's hidden treasure. Fluffy dog, wild cat, hungry birds, trailing, looking for her relief. She was the consistency mixed in sunscreen to protect children from the erratic heat of a hard life. She was gentle, feminine, caring amongst bats, balls, misguided anger. Another female body collapsing under the weight of oblivious, toxic masculinity. She was home for hearts of little boys, now men, a nest devoid of jays, waiting for new spring growth in spirit and steps.
Yay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Sabrina, we are kind of probably at the midpoint right now. And there's something that you wanted to do maybe at this time?
Sure. I just wanted to take a moment. This is blowing my doors off. Thank you all. First of all, wow, I'm crying over here. I just wanted to take a moment to do a few thank yous. And I'm not sure, Sherry, how are we for time? Should we do a little bathroom break as well, or?
Is there anybody that needs to take a break or anything, or can we keep going? I think we can keep going. Do you think?
We good?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kirk is here. Kirk is my, I guess, artistic mentor, and I found Kirk again with a group of poets that I've known for many years from Calgary, and we'd meet on Monday nights, and every Tuesday when I found him again on Zoom, he would check on me, and that was so necessary during COVID. And so I'm very grateful to Kirk. And he's just my cheerleader, and it's cool that he's here. And Peggy, you'll like Kirk's picture because he's got a mask on and a clown nose. And thank you, Kathleen, for your reading. Kathleen was my layout editor for She Was, and I could not have done this without her as well. The book just wouldn't have gotten finished. So and then Erin Boak is the artist who did the cover of this. She was very, very generous with her work, and had no problems helping it to me for She Was. And Ian and Michelle are two of my friends. Michelle owns Cheeky Stores, and she's been really instrumental in sort of being the first person to really pick up the first sponsor to pick up the book and really move it, I guess, in a very real way. And then the second last dedication in my thank yous is to Gabby and Annabella. They're my nieces, and I see that Tanya, their mommy, is on the call, and she's been my nearest and dearest for 20 years. I've had the pleasure of having a phone call every week from one person, and I don't know that too many people have that in their lives. And given the life I've lived, that's a pretty amazing thing. So super grateful to her for being here, and for nieces, and to my late mom, Dorothy. And people ask me all the time, is she in this book? And I tell them she's all of this. She's all of us. So thank you very much. And I guess we'll just keep rocking and rolling. Maybe Sherry had to go to the bathroom. Her video is off, but
no, I'm back.
This is really very moving. Thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you.
I'm just looking to see who's next.
Okay. Well, Diane Weinches is next. So Diane is one of your 8 city councillors in the city of Red Deer. She was raised on a farm in Central Alberta, has lived in Red Deer since 1975, and has seen our city evolve and change. She is a past member of the United Way Central Alberta Campaign Committee and continues to support each year's campaign. Diane enjoys her assigned city committees, such as the Library Board, the Red Deer River Watershed Alliance, and Red Deer River Municipal Users Group.
Thanks very much, Sherry, and thank you, Sabrina, and thank you everyone for being here. We're all making a change in the circles that we are involved in and making a difference. This poem spoke to me for no matter where you live, city or country, little town, big city, wearing heels or runners, the support that we can provide for people, women, children, men, those who are hurting, whether it's physical abuse, emotional, financial abuse, the support that we can provide to them. So our collective strength. She was the old farmhouse with pencil ticks marking the kid's height, China doll skin, and complicated blue peering into the world. Fine chocolate, Italian leather, red wine, and privilege. She was married to a world of hurt. From a new world of hurt, the kind that looks regal. Passive, only in physical stature. Aggressively in business acumen and thwarting male dominance. She was a quarter surrounded with pennies.
Oh, no, sorry, stop. You're
thank
just,
you.
sorry, that's just
Stop
the next
it.
one. Sorry, no, that's great.
Good.
Thank you, Diane, that's wonderful. Yeah. And this has happened before where it's a little confusing on when it does stop, because these poems can just kind of run into each other and still have meaning to everybody. Like it's just absolutely amazing. And maybe that's a great time to say, if you don't have the book yet, oh my gosh, you're going to have to get it because it's just absolutely amazing. Alrighty, so our next winner, or not winner, sorry, our next reader is Suzanne Hermery. Suzanne is a musical theater performer, director, and arts administrator in Central Alberta. She works with creative humans of all kinds in her role as coordinator with the Red Deer Arts Council. She is also an avid traveler who loves to explore world cultures and cuisine, helping others to do the same as a travel agent. Suzanne knows the absolute value of arts and creativity in our lives, empowering diverse and thoughtful expression.
Thank you so much. I chose this poem because it sort of is talking about a bit of a time of loss, and that's been pretty profound of late for me. She was a quarter surrounded with pennies, the mom who knew just what you needed and maybe just how you felt. She was a free soul, tethered to a home as to not get lost for good. She was activity, energy as boundless as all the time it takes to recover from loss of a life, but also a lifetime, a lifestyle, a life's purpose. Imprinted on great women is the knowing that ceaselessly it continues. This life, she was.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next reader is Christine Curtis. Communication has been Christine's theme for the past 45 years. After studying broadcast journalism in London, Ontario, she worked as a traffic reporter, weekend news gal, subbed as the mascot, and then moved into TV news. She then freelanced all the newspapers and one radio station until the radio station said, "Come work for us." For the next decade, she worked the weekend desk, moved to afternoons, and 5 years on the morning desk. She was the news part of a morning show called Bob, Fred, and Christine. And during those last 3 years, Christine created and produced and hosted a daily lunchtime news magazine. When she moved to Red Deer, she worked at KG Country and Z99 and was part of Zed's mornings on the show with Jack Hammer and Zap Davids. The decline in local news being evident, she jumped ship to the United Way of Central Alberta in 2014. Now, as communications and impact coordinator, she handles social media and outward communications, creates videos, and is the host of the Unignorable podcast. She recruits client ambassadors and writes in videos their stories for all of us. Her happy place is editing anything handed to her, print, audio, or video. She writes short stories when she isn't working, and she naps a lot.
I do. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the Seroptimists, and this is from me as well as the United Way, for Sherry, for you and the Seroptimists, for your fire and your persistence in making Period Promise a reality and making it happen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I chose this poem because actually I lived this life from the time I was about 16 to the time I was about 33. She was fresh butter melting on bright yellow corn, farm potatoes from the garden, and sharp figure skates. She was suicide watch, mom taxi, farm practical. She was musky statements in place of flowery praise, the sturdy plate all the food got heaped on at the town supper. She was every ball game, every barn dance, every baby shower. She was everything. An ahead of her time, intersectional feminist cultural ally, just dutifully making by for the patriarchy, unknowing of her greatness.
Thank you. Thank you. And our next reader is Alicia Hadija. I hope I said your last name right. Alicia is the owner and operator of Adoption Mosaic Support and Education. Alicia has been a social worker within the nonprofit sector for over 10 years within Red Deer. She is proud to be part of this beautiful community and is privileged to be part of the Period Promise.
I read this poem and it resonated with me because I saw a woman that had many different sides to her. And I think that when I think of the women in my life and the warriors that I've had the privilege of meeting and having influence in my life by, they were able to stand in all sides of who they were. And so there's this poem. She was sharp as her own sarcastic wit. Isabella Rossellini in black stripes, a wall of books you wanted to read all at once. Hester Prynne with a sassy eye twinkle, buckling men at the knees. She was creamy scented lotion, her hands and souls healing from existing hard. She was a masculine blue sapphire reminding a white diamond other beauty sparkles too.
Thank you. Thank you. And just on a side note, I do have to say something to Alicia. I know your mom and dad. I was privileged to work with your dad at one time, a long time ago when I first came to Red Deer. So it's so nice to see you here.
Aw, thanks.
Our next speaker is Jasmine Moses. Jasmine is a marketing and administrative professional who brings passion and creativity to all of her endeavors. Having lived in Central Alberta for the last 7 years, she has lent her voice to several different causes, from bringing music to elementary school, singing in a choir, reading in the Vagina Monologues in 2020, and speaking at peaceful protests. Jasmine is determined to be unapologetically herself, while she stands for her belief in the shared desire of equality for all. She's honored to be part of the Period Promise.
Thanks, Sherry. Just like everyone else, so grateful to be here. And I just wanted to say that when I read this poem, I felt like I was being encapsulated by a warm hug. It made me feel like the love that I feel is missing from the world that I try to bring to everybody, and leave everyone with a good feeling. This is pretty much how I would like to bring it to everybody. She was love in fragrant curry, bursting with color and flavor, prairie Maharani. She was saris and painted toes with too white face powder, my special favorite chocolate biscuit cake. The first birthday call sung in the phone. She was the feeling you'd get in the middle of a hug when you knew you were safe. Right before unwinding hearts and arms, prayer beads, and African violets, unchanging decoration, fabric and thread and knitting needles. She was a dog leash made from nylons on Main Street, planting tulips like solitary soldiers instead of bunches, sewing a new purple body on a Cabbage Patch Kid, violently attacked by a dog. Some prayers move around a lot, the way her hands did when she spun magic stories in midair. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And our next reader is Amay Zapp. Amay is a longtime Sylvan Laker with her family roots strongly planted there. Her family has been in Central Alberta for generations, and because of that, she has a strong connection to the community and a drive to give back. Amay is a personal banking specialist with ATB Financial in Sylvan Lake and loves to learn her clients' stories and help them achieve their financial goals. She's a proud member of Seroptimus International of Central Alberta and has also volunteered as a cast member in the Vagina Monologues. If you saw the monologues, you would remember her. Amay teaches Pound Rock Out Workout pre-pandemic and hopes to get back to that as soon as it is safe. And of course, she loves spending time with her husband, daughter, and dog.
Thanks, Sherry. I'm just overwhelmed to be here with all these fierce women. It's truly amazing. So Sabrina had chosen this poem for me, and I think like so many others, for whatever reason, she just knew which poem was perfect for people. So here I go. She was captivating otherness in mom jeans, pregnant with compassion, only appearing to be the same as the others. Busyness, her prescription for aching wounds collected like school pictures. She was a pool of protection and care and inclusion and love, feminine productivity, because the growing season is much shorter than the loving season in the prairies.
Yay, thank you, thank you. Our next reader is Deborah Van Delden, who incidentally made this quilt. Oh my God. And I treasure it, treasure it. Deborah is happy to be joining with this incredible team to raise funds and awareness for this amazing cause. After being part of the Vagina Monologues last year, she was eager to jump into this project. She is happy that this project has been inclusive of all people who menstruate.
Thank you. I don't have a fancy tiara, or I would wear it. Perhaps I'll have to swipe my mom's when I'm there visiting tomorrow. And I don't have a clown nose, but I am wearing my shirt that is covered in not bulls, like a lot of Central Albertans think, but uteruses. Oh! There's a big one down below on my COVID belly that says, "Mind your own." So in honor of tonight, I thought that was the appropriate shirt. She was distinctive, thick cigar smoke in holy incense blend. She was standalone, daring cowboy boots under a lenga. She was Scotch whiskey's late night laughter. She was England's rolling hills, Gary's modern majesty, Banksy's mystery of faith. She was many worlds at once.
Thank you, thank you. Our next reader is Megan McGrattan. Megan is the owner and director of Make Your Mark Dance in Red Deer. She is a certified dance teacher with the Royal Academy of Dance, ADAPT, and Module 1 Acrobatic Arts. Her passion for children and dance has led her to a 30-year career in dance education. She has a strong belief in the value of the arts and the role they can play in the growth and development of children and youth.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. I chose this poem because it reminded me so much of my grandma. My grandma was my safe space, and there was nothing in her mind that a cup of red rose tea and some digestive cookies with a little bit of butter, you have to have the butter on them to make them special, that couldn't cure. So if you haven't tried that, I recommend it. She was hardy and knew safe places were sometimes nothing more than a row of peas, personalized in her vast garden, with only you in mind. All kinds need place and space. Some grow best alone. She was the warmth of fresh-baked buns, a new hello on substitute days, a child worshiper, and I, the privileged one of the worshipped. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next reader is Janessa McCormick. Growing up in a small town where everybody knew everybody, Janessa learned what community and giving back is all about. As Audrey Hepburn said, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. As part of the community engagement team at Youth HQ, her passions for community, education, and youth are fulfilled and regularly sees the impacts volunteers and staff make while providing a safe place for all youth and supporting kids to build their own self-esteem. Janessa has been honored to receive the AHSCA President's Commendation for Community Service, Best Back of House Personnel for Tourism Red Deer, 2 Feather Commendation for work on the FNMI Education Advisory Council, and was a finalist for the Women of Excellence Award for Human Services. Janessa is a reviewer for Canada's National Volunteer Awards, and as a lover of all things Scottish, has been president of the Red Deer Highland Games Association for the past 2 years.
Thank you, Sherry. And I am honored to be part of tonight's event with so many dynamic and amazing individuals. And I thank the Seroptimists for all they do, as well as the Central Alberta Sexual Assault Center for what they do. Sabrina chose this poem, and like with everybody else, it seems to have hit a chord with me. And it brought back a lot of memories of very long ago, I will say. And thinking of the wind in my hair and the adventures yet to come. Thank you, Sabrina, for selecting this one for me. She was a motorcycle ride gone really right, hair whipping in her breezy free flow. So different, but so the same. She was crackling good laughs and simple pleasures, playing cards for hours. She was adventure aging into comfort and position. A surprise visitor, not dismantling the master's house, but living in it, playing with his tools. So different and so the same. She was a distant, cheery memory from childhood. You get to visit again, fully grown. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next reader is Megan Parisian. Megan is a dedicated community builder who is no stranger to making big things happen. Partnering with several local not-for-profits and diverse causes over the past decade, she is dedicated to making our city a better place. Presently raising 3 little feminists with her husband, Nathan, she is a fierce advocate for mental health initiatives and equity in education, as well as the LGBTQ2S+ community. Megan is running as a candidate for public school board trustee in the upcoming municipal election. In her spare time, Megan enjoys reading, yoga, and taking walks around the neighborhood with her family and their dog, Lola.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been
an absolutely moving experience to hear all of these poems, just the absolute depth of the poetry, and how each one of these poems, though, written about one dynamic individual, have touched us and our lives through our stories just so differently and yet so the same. Oakley wanted to join us. This is our youngest, Oakley. And this poem is really fitting for me because as a mom of three, bedtime is, our nightly wind down routine. All moms know, all kids remember the consistencies and inconsistencies. And so this poem just really touched me. She was the loving consistency of a good night, every single night. Peas and potatoes are close friends, not touching. She was logical popcorn, knowing it was her on the phone before looking at the caller ID. Loyalty easily wades into commitment when life incinerates oxygenated tears, dreams. Lester. She was a sentinel for women and children, a sturdy tree with much cut off, still alive and compelled forward. She was stacks of animals and objects and things to love. Tendrils flow from her hair into the children's, love curling through the double helix alike. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And our last reader is Jody Dory. Jody is dedicated to kindness and always learning. Through her chai business, she is active and supporting and promoting everything local, women-owned, and entrepreneurial. Jody has a fine art diploma and is also always seeking creative opportunities through any medium she can. She and her husband are proud to have raised 3 strong-spirited and kind humans. She says, "I will always care and hold a strong commitment to finding ways of supporting others in need."
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much for this honor, Sherry and Sabrina. And this poem chose me, absolutely. I was listening to Sabrina in the park the other day, and I recognized who she was reading about. And so we connected. We didn't know we had this person in common. And I've loved watching this person's journey from afar. She was a hard-shelled turtle moving slowly home. Communication optional. Om Mani Padme Om. A gentle walk around a dog's haven. Burden of lost motherhood, heaving and weighing daily. She was laughter and steamed milk tea, topped with hyssops and crushed pistachio garnish. The dish of crystals beside, not for decoration, but for a source of power. She was following a tail instead of chasing her own, seeing through an omniscient eye, the only option when quilled by others. Hearts from everywhere, communication optional.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I just have been just so overwhelmed just even reading these bios of these fabulous women, and having the opportunity over the last couple of weeks to just compile them and put them all in order and then read them. Like it's just amazing, the quality and the caliber of the ladies that we have here in Central Alberta. And that's why we have such a great community that we live in, because of you. It's just absolutely amazing. Before we go on to just a little bit more information that we're going to share with you. Sabrina, I guess we want to bring you back and you want to give away some prizes.
Yes, I am. Do you have the prizes there with you, Sherry? Can you hold them up? Okay. So I just wanted to recognize a few people, and I really appreciate everyone that has come and read. That was really, it's just so neat as an artist to see. First person I would like to give, I guess, a prize or an award to is Jasmine Moses. And Jasmine was really on the ticket sale. She was so enthusiastic and really went for it. And so thanks, Jasmine, for selling so many tickets and getting more people interested in what we're doing here.
And what we have for Jasmine is, this is a signed personal copy.
100%.
Yeah, this is a signed personal copy from this chef who has been on the Food Network. And this was donated by Charlotte Brown from One Woman. And she met this guy and got a signed copy for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sorry, my internet is cutting in and out, so I'll just keep my video off. But I also wanted to give an award or prize or whatever we're calling them to Alicia. And thank you so much, Alicia, for all that you've done for promoting and, you know, doing the tampon drive and giving donations and all of that. Also big cheer for Alicia.
Yay! And Alicia, we've got some inspirational women's books.
Can you show her what she's won, Sherry?
Yeah, some inspirational women's books, also donated by Charlotte Brown, to help you with your new business. So this is going to go hopefully far for you.
Thank you.
And then Sherry thought it would be nice to give a prize to the last person that got in to purchase the ticket, and that's you, Jill Armstrong.
Woo!
Yay! And Jill is actually part of my she's part of my poetry group from Calgary, so we'll have to put this in the mail for you, Jill.
Oh, good, good. And what we've got
Can
here.
you show her what she's won, Sherry?
Yes, we've got some candles and we've got some oracle cards and we've got some little wine charms for you, also from Charlotte.
Thank you very much. That's so awesome.
All right, so that's.
This has been an amazing evening. Thank you so much.
Good. Okay. And then we just have one more.
And I was going to recognize the first person who got the ball rolling with the first ticket purchase, but I don't see her on the call. I'm not sure if she's here. Is Crystal Alford here? She is. Okay, awesome. Crystal. Woo!
Oh, Crystal Alford? Okay,
Hey, thank
Crystal. And Crystal, you also get a signed book from this chef, and his name is Bob Bloomer. In case anybody watches the Food Network, this is what he is. So this is a great book that he has written as well.
Thank you very much.
So also, Sherry, before we go, I was just wondering if we could do some jazz hands all together so I could get some good screenshots.
Okay.
If y'all don't mind.
So do you want us to go to all gallery
so
view?
You're
Or?
gonna have to hold it for a minute. Yeah, to gallery view, please.
Okay.
And I have a few photos to take because there's 3 screens. So
Okay.
Have to hold it for a bit.
Okay.
All right, keep smiling, everyone. Keep going. Lots of cheers. Okay. Almost done.
Thank you.
All righty.
Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now, okay,
You
so
can take your hand.
I'm just gonna switch.
And so, yeah, watch out for those online, and please keep in mind if you want to get the contest, do the online contest, just let us know who you thought, what you what you enjoyed, I guess, the most and why.
Good. All right, I'm just going to switch back to speaker view and just kind of end off with some things. Just at the end, I just wanted to let you know, I didn't want to spend too much time at the beginning, but just a little bit more about Soroptimist in case you're interested after seeing all this and kind of hearing and seeing some of our fabulous members on here. We have a Facebook page called Soroptimist International Central Alberta, which has a lot of the things that we do. Here in town, we haven't been able to do it as of COVID, but we actually do a mother-daughter conference every year for moms and girls. We do a Dream It Be It session for young girls, hoping to encourage them to go to post-secondary education. We grant cash scholarships to women who have gone back to school to better support their family. And worldwide, the majority of the ladies that win have encountered difficulties, and this is a chance for them to finalize their education, and the majority of them have been victims of domestic violence or sexual assault. We give 3 awards away every year. We give awards away to young volunteers in our community, which they also use for their education. We honor a fabulous woman in our community every year, and that's why we call her the Ruby Award. And besides our Period Promise project, which is very new and very consuming right now during COVID, we also have a domestic violence awareness project called Purple Light Nights. And I just want to do a shout out to the Sexual Assault Center as well, because that's an organization that we have also supported, and we partner with and do a lot of things during the month of November during Family Violence Prevention Month. So if you see the town lit up in purple lights, it's because of us, encouraging people to shine that light, to shine a light on domestic violence and say it doesn't belong in our community. So that's another big project of ours. So we're always welcome to anybody who wants to join us as a member. We have fabulous, fabulous ladies, and we are so looking forward to being able to get back out and do something in the community as well. Even though Zoom has been pretty convenient, we want to get back out there. And do what we can. So still our concentration is the Period Promise. Besides the pilot project in the schools, the second part of the initiative was to gather products and funds in the community. Mostly we did for the month of May, but it is continuing into the month of June because we have a lot of businesses that are still wanting to collect products. One of them, of course, is ATB Financial in Sylvan Lake. With Amaze help out there, they're collecting products out there for the Period Promise. One aspect of the Period Promise, in case you have a business, you work for a boss who's an absolutely amazing person, a business or an organization, a union, whatever, can sign the Period Promise policy with the United Way of Central Alberta. And this policy states that they promise to provide free and diverse menstrual products to their employees, their clients, and their community members who use their services in a manner that is accessible for all. And this is a 2-year commitment. And it's just absolutely fabulous if you can imagine that your boss would provide menstrual products for you in the washrooms and what that could do for people. We've got a couple of businesses that have signed on already, and we would love to have even more. So just think about it. You can go to caunitedway.ca/period promise. That website will show you how to make a donation, how to conduct a product drive, and how to sign the Period Promise. We are just so impassioned and so worked up about the fact that we want to just spread the word about this everywhere. $20 buys period products for a person in need for 3 months. That's all it takes is $20. So collecting products, they can continue to collect products even past June. The United Way office will accept them. We have so many, like I said, different agencies and organizations that need them. We want to be able to help. What I tell people when I talk to them about Period Promise is this is a gender equality issue. Access to pads and tampons is just as essential as access to toilet paper. You should be able to go into a washroom and be able to access those for free, just like you do toilet paper. It's just an issue that affects half of the population of this country. We should have gender equality. We should be bringing back dignity, and we should be stopping the shame and the silence, period. So that's all I have to say about Period Promise. I could go on forever. If you want me to come talk to you about it, I can do that. And so can you, United Way. I just want to tell you where you can buy Sabrina's book. And if you don't have it already, or if after listening to these wonderful poems, you want to buy one for your mom, your sister, your daughter, anybody, you can get them at Cheeky Coutures in Gasoline Alley. You can get them at Housewarmings downtown. Or you can get them through Sabrina, and you can reach her on her Facebook page called Surrender Living. I also want to tell you about the fact that because these are such wonderful poems written about women that have influenced Sabrina's life, she can also help you write a poem about somebody who's influenced your life as well. You have the ability, like I'm going to do next week, I'm going to commission Sabrina to help me write a poem for my mom. Just think about it. If there's somebody that you want to gift a beautiful, beautiful poem to, you can hire Sabrina to do that for you. She's done it for somebody else already, and so I'm looking really forward to being able to do this for my mom. I think that's probably all we need to say. I so enjoyed everybody coming tonight. It's just so wonderful to have a gathering of fabulous women. We've kind of been missing that for a long time. And like I said, hopefully we'll get back to being able to do that. There's so many great small organizations and nonprofits who have suffered greatly through COVID. One thing I would like to say to you, if you have the possibility to be able to support them, please do. They are suffering. We want them all to still be here when we need them. When we finally come out of this, we want them still there because they help people in our community. And there's a reason why they need to be here. I will close with, as we open up, there will be some apprehensive people come July 1st. Some will be very happy to just throw caution to the wind. Some will not. But what I ask you to is just please be kind. Thank you for coming. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Sabrina, at all?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. And Cynthia, it's probably pretty late where you are, right? Is she still there? I don't know.
Oh, she's saying it is in the chat.
Is she? Yeah. She's in Nova Scotia. It's pretty late there, so she probably wants to go to bed.
Oh, thanks for coming. Didn't Jody do an amazing job?
Yes.
And her background too.
Oh, yes.
Knocked it out of the park. That was lovely. It's so moving to see it all together. Miss Gail, thanks for coming.
Alrighty. See you soon.
Bye, Sherry. How are you doing, Gail?
I'm doing good. Thank you. That was
Wasn't that
wonderful,
good?
Sabrina.
Oh,
Sabrina, do you know Eileen? My friend Eileen?
I probably do. Hi, Eileen. Were you at Snematona? No.
Yes, she was.
Yes, that's where I know you from.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm just,
cool.
her and I are talking. We're just going to buy your book, darling.
Aw,
So-
that's great. Thank you.
But it was lovely. You did a great job. Wow.
Oh, well, Sherry was like totally hand in glove and she's amazing. So thank you very much. And it was fun putting it together, but yeah, like getting that many women together is a challenge for sure.
You had a good turnout though. That was
Yeah.
great. 44.
And
Unmute yourself, darling. Eileen, unmute.
Oh, I can help her with that.
Oh, okay.